Genesis 31 is about knowing when God says it's time to go. Not when it's comfortable, not when it's easy, not when everybody agrees, but when God says move. Jacob had been working for Laban for 20 years. 20 years he worked for his wives. He worked for his children. He worked for his wealth. The Bible says Laban changed his wages 10 times. That's manipulation. That's somebody benefiting off your blessing. And some of us are in Genesis 31 season right now. You're loyal, you're faithful, you're grinding, but the people around you are profiting more from your favor than you are. But God saw it. Genesis 31 opens with Jacob hearing that Laban's sons are talking about him. They're mad, they're jealous, they're whispering, they're salty. Because when God starts blessing you, people who are comfortable with you struggling will suddenly feel threatened. Then God speaks. God says, return to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you. That's the whole chapter right there. God didn't say it would be easy. He didn't say everybody will clap. He said, I will be with you. Sometimes God doesn't explain. He just instructs. Jacob tells Rachel and Leah everything Laban did to him. How he cheated him, how he lied, how he switched wages. But Jacob also testifies, God did not allow him to hurt me. Some of you survived stuff that should have destroyed you. You didn't win because of people. You won because God blocked what you never saw coming. Rachel and Leah agree. It's time to leave. They say our father has treated us like strangers. And that right there hits deep. Just because someone is blood doesn't mean they're safe. Just because they're familiar doesn't mean they're healthy. So Jacob packs up quietly and leaves. Why quietly? Because not everybody deserves an explanation. Some people don't want clarity, they want control. Rachel steals her father's household items. That's a big deal. That wasn't just theft. That was attachment. That to the past. That was fear. That was comfort. That was insecurity. Some of us follow God forward, but still grab pieces of the old life just in case. But God can't bless what you refuse to release. Laban finds out Jacob left and chases him for 7 days. 7 days that man was not coming to talk. He was coming to control. But God steps in. God appears to Laban in a dream and says, be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. When God puts his hand on somebody's mouth, they can't curse you. When God covers you, people can't touch you. You don't need to fight every battle. God will show up in their sleep. When Laban catches up, he accuses Jacob of stealing his idols. He searches everything. And Rachel, she hides them. She sits on them. Sometimes people will accuse you of things you didn't do because they're mad about what you did right. Then Jacob finally speaks up. And when Jacob speaks, it's not weak, it's real. He tells Laban, I worked in the heat, I worked in the cold, I lost sleep, I served you faithfully. And then he says, if the God of my father hadn't been with me, you would have sent me away empty-handed. Some of you have been broken, destroyed, but God stepped in. Laban tries to act spiritual at the end. He sets up a covenant, a boundary, and says, let God be witness between us. That's funny. When people can't control you anymore, they start acting holy. They build a stone pillar, they make peace, and then they separate. Genesis 31 ends with this truth. Not every separation is demonic. Some separations are divine. God will remove people to punish, not to punish you, but to protect you. If they benefit from your chains, they won't celebrate your freedom. And sometimes God will tell you to leave quietly, not because you're wrong, but because you're done. Genesis 31 is about transition. It's about obedience. It's about protection. It's about knowing when your season has ended. If God is telling you to move, then move. If God is telling you to leave, leave. If God is telling you to trust Him, trust Him. Because when God is with you, you don't need permission.